for the Tuesday night match at the concession stand. So if you want to buy your tickets now, you won't have to wait in line Tuesday night. The next event, ladies and gentlemen, will be one fall. Introducing in this corner, 238 pounds from Mississippi, Mike Miller. His opponent in this corner, 237 pounds from Atlanta, Georgia, Terry Gibbs.
Terry Gibbs and Mike Miller. Mike Miller's probably the most improved athlete we've got in the Pacific Northwest right now. Miller's coming along fairly well. He doesn't wrestle too scientifically, but he gets the work done in the ring, Frank, and he's been quite successful at what he's doing.
Listen, excuse me for interrupting you, Dutch. I just want to mention to maybe some fans who've just tuned in that this is Chuck Grindell and Dutch Savage, and we're here tonight in place of Frank Bonema, because Frank was admitted to Emmanuel Hospital's coronary care unit earlier this morning, and his condition is listed as stable. Now let's go back to the one fall, one match.
The fellow in the black tights, ladies and gentlemen, is Terry Gibbs, black tights and black shoes, and the maroon and the blue, and there's a takedown by Miller right away. In the maroon is Mike Miller. There's a sit-out. A roll up from a hammerlock into a... there's another takedown. I'll tell you, this Gibbs has impressed me really well. He's a big young man. He reminds me a lot of a fellow that used to wrestle by the name of Ray Gunkel.
Who was that?
Ray Gunkel from Atlanta. Ray died a few years ago, and Ray was a legend in this business. And he also resembles a fellow by the name of Ronnie Etchison.
Now, Terry is from Atlanta?
From Atlanta, Georgia. Clean-cut young man. He's a lot bigger than he looks. He's about 6'1", weighs about 240. And I want to tell you, from my position right here, he'll grow on you in a hurry. By the time he gets done, you'll think he's 6'12".
They look 6'12" from here.
Yeah. He's in excellent, excellent condition. This Miller's no slouch either. He's about 6'3", weighs about 250.
How long are these one-fall matches?
Well, on a television curriculum, they generally go one fall, 12-minute time limit, so that people get a chance to see enough bouts on television before the main event comes on. There's a try for a hip lock, and Miller went down. I hope he didn't hurt his knee. There's an arm drag. Up to a kneeling arm bar.
You know, I imagine after 12 minutes, just imagine 12 minutes in there.
Yeah.
You're tired. You're tired.
You pretty well had the biscuit unless you're in shape. Some of these guys go 45, 50 minutes a night, Chuck, and the lights they're under tonight, they're television lights. They're supremely hot.
Right.
And when it's humid outside and the sweat just rolls off you, sometimes you get up to 115, 120 degrees in that ring. And it'll wear on you real hard. Miller's got him by the hair, backing him into the corner. Referee Luke Brown. Brown pulled Miller off by the hair. Excellent move, Mr. Brown. That'll break a hole up in a hurry. There's a fireman's carry. Back into that arm bar. There's a sit-out arm bar. This Gibbs shows me a lot. He's a wrestler. Very seldom in this business a sign out front says professional wrestling. Most of these guys like to try to beat each other's brains out. But this guy's a wrestler, and that's where it's at, Frank. If you can wrestle in this business...
When you say wrestler, I know it's been a lot of years.
I know.
Dutch was just referring to him as Frank, but that's all right, no problem. We know each other for a long time, but when you get into a situation like this, it's easy to do that. But when you're talking about a wrestler, you're talking about a scientific wrestler.
Scientific wrestler, a man that knows all the moves, all the holes, like a fellow by the name of Johnny Eagle used to be. He used to call him the Houdini of wrestling.
Right.
You can last 7, 8 years longer in this business, Chuck. More so than you could for one of these guys. Miller's hanging on to the ropes.
Listen, I promise I won't call you Don.
I'm sorry.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have to excuse me. I've been doing business with Frank for so many years. I still love the guy so much. I hope he hurries up and he gets well, because you can't keep the great white whale down. He'll be back out in the street beating up on somebody.
No way. Yeah, he's, you bet. You know, I was talking to Frank Friday, because we went over several of these tapes that we had flown in. We're going to see other tapes,
yes,
rather than live interviews tonight. Yes. We've got some special tapes that you and Don have got in. I know Frank and I were discussing them just Friday, and there was no indication at that time of any problems.
There's a forearm right across the back. There's another forearm in the middle of the back. That, have you ever been hit in the back?
Several times.
Shakes your kidneys up. That stings. Takes a while for you to get your wind. This Gibbs appears to be the type of individual that can take an awful lot of punishment and come back and make you pay for it 10 times over. He came to us with a great reputation out of Atlanta, Georgia, and we're looking for big... Some of the people might have seen him earlier this year on the cable. On the cable network.
On the what?
Town. Cable. You know what a cable is. That's where they string up a...
Cable?
Well, they usurp all the power of the great stations like KPTV and Channel 12.
We hope not.
Anyway, he came in. People have seen him before. This guy is going to be a force to reckon with within the next year here in the Northwest, if not sooner. I like his style. He's a big Jose. Oh, there's a backbreaker, a try for a pin. He didn't even get a count on him.
And still with a sore back. We're almost halfway through this match, too.
Well, that's good to see he didn't use the point of the knee on that one.
Now, I imagine it's important that these wrestlers watch the wrestlers in action with other people. Like anybody, you know, what moves, what their weaknesses are, their strengths. Now, he's working on his back. Certainly doesn't have a weak back.
Well, it's like this. Miller will do anything he possibly can to win a match. I don't blame him. Money's the name of the game. But if you think you're going to beat a Terry Gibbs by working on his back...
Well, that's what I was wondering. That's a pretty strong part, you know.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, actually, you say have you ever been hit in the back and weakened the kidneys. But after all, your back is strong.
It's vulnerable.
These fellas' backs.
But you're going to have to go a long way and go to school for a long time to beat a Terry Gibbs by working on his back. If it were me, I'd try to break one of his legs or one of his arms. That's another story,
Would
too.
you ever do that?
Of course. Not. It's a funny thing. 1972, I helped a fellow out by the name of Beauregard, Larry Pitchford here, and up to that point, everybody hated me in this state. Since I did that, people couldn't do enough for me, and everybody loved me for all those years before I retired. I refereed one match. They all hated me again. The people, God bless them, of Oregon and Washington, the greatest fans in the world. Per capita, we have more fans in the Pacific Northwest than they have in New York and Pennsylvania and New Jersey combined, per capita.
Is that a fact?
We don't have the population out here that they have back east, but we've got more wrestling fans and better wrestling fans. And in case you're interested, Mr. Grindell, sir, for your information, I've toured the country many, many times watching the various different television shows. And KPTV is probably the only live arena show for professional wrestling in the United States of America. When you put this on, if anybody else picks it up and shows it back east, they say, where does that come from? When it says Portland, Oregon, they can't believe it because it's done live from the arena. You've seen some of these studio shows that leave you kind of cold. There's a kick out. Miller still after that back, a punch to the stomach. Back to a bear hug. Miller's got the capability and a lot of strength there, Chuck. He picked Gibbs up. Gibbs weighs about 240, a little over 240. And he's holding him there. What he's trying to do is trying to sap his strength, cut his wind. I think Terry's in a little too good a shape for that, but he's not in good shape for that. Look out. Trying his back in there. There's some nasty words being said.
See him talking there. What's he trying to do? Psych him up yet?
Well, yeah, I can't say what he said on television. He says, you dirty,
no.
How are you? Miller is paying no attention. Back to the bear hug. There it is again. They dropped him in there that time.
That was a chop.
That was a palm of the hand. A palm of the hand shot to the jaw. You turn that knuckle in, you're cutting up. There's a Now that's questionable. That was a kick to the stomach, a little high, as if around that sternum bone.
And you say it's got to be flat, though.
Yes. The referee was behind him. Whoop. Oh, there's a mistake. I think Mr. Miller's gone to school on quite a few of these other wrestlers around here. He's been watching. That's one of the prerequisites of this business. Watch your opponents. Learn. There's a backdrop. Down he goes. Hard. There's a forearm across the back. Right of the leg. Another one, a sit out on him. We have a 2 count, almost a pin. Miller looks a little disgruntled. What do I have to do to this guy to beat him? He's still on that back. Gibbs' back is red from the pummeling he's taking. There's a kick. You got to keep your eyes on him at all time, Mike. If you don't, you'll get a foot in the face, and that's just what he got. Oh, there's a forearm to the ear. I think Mr. Gibbs is hot. Look out. Get up, he's saying. Look. Oh. Into the turnbuckle with the face. Another forearm to the ear. Oh, look out. Back body drop. Forearm smash. We have a 1-2. He kicked out of it. Oh, watch this, Chuck. Watch it. If he drops, ooh, right to the back rail at 3, and it's all over. That's it. I don't know about that hold. That's a legal hold. I saw it. I've seen him do it before, but that has to really hurt bad.
I'm going to have to go home and watch that over again. Drop. Listen, we're going to take a commercial break, but right after that commercial break, we've got the Buddy Rose tape. 5 minutes of a couple of days in the life of Buddy Rose. Here comes Marv Tonkin.
Don't go away, folks. Wait till you see this Buddy Rose thing.